you show up the first night, and who goes to the racetrack with you with this 49 Ford?
Jack Patrick.
All right.
Junior.
And he helped you build it?
Yeah, he helped me build the car, painted it, and we used his. He had a garage also up by his daddy's house where he lived with his daddy at that time.
And that was in Pleasant Grove also?
Well, it was on the road going to Fairfield.
Okay.
Just right there across from the apartments.
Okay, got you.
The driveway was right there going up to the garage.
Okay.
And that's where we built it, and his daddy'd come out there and throw hints at us and stuff like that.
So you got this car put together, and you go to Midfield.
Right.
First night out. All right, tell me what happens.
Well, I probably spun out 2 or 3 times because I know absolutely nothing about handling.
Okay.
And I don't know many people that would remember Rayburn Early, but he run at the Iron Bowl, and he still had old Hudson, and that thing was a tank. You didn't mess with him because he'd just lean on you a little bit, and you'd be out of the park.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I do remember Mr. Early. He had a junkyard and stuff down there.
I think he did over in
Sylvan Springs?
Sylvan Springs,
That's right, yeah.
And he lived there also.
He was a good man. Yeah.
I never had no trouble with him, but if you was trying to lean on him a little bit, he'd just cut down and move you on down some.
So how long did you get to race this 49 Ford?
I really don't remember. Maybe 1 season.
Okay.
And then I got old enough. I had a phone call from a Bill Letlow.
Okay.
That he owned the Vigorlube car.
Okay.
That Joe Cannon used to drive at the fairgrounds, and when they had a 1/4-mile dirt track there. Well, Joe had moved to Florida or something, and he was bad to wreck, I think, and the car looked like he was beat up with a sack of hickory nuts. And
what kind of car is this?
It's a 50 Model Oldsmobile, but you couldn't tell it by looking at it.
All right. And would it have an Oldsmobile motor in it? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
You had to run what it was back then.
Okay, I got you.
And anyway, I got a call from him, and he asked me did I want to drive his car. He said that he had called Big Hearted Eddie Wright to get my phone number, and he called me and asked me did I want to drive. I said, well, sure. Yeah. My car was tore up.
Yeah.
Motor blowed up or something. And when I got in that car, I went to war with that thing and won bunches of races.
Now, is this back at Midfield, or where all did you race this car?
I raced at Midfield.
Okay.
Run a dirt track race, 50 or 75 lapper at Birmingham.
Okay.
Won it.
Okay.
Went to Huntsville one time, dirt, Huntsville.
Wow.
And won a big race up there in this car. And won about every Friday night at Midfield.
So the first time you raced it, you think it was Midfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we raced it several times at Midfield before we started going out.
Yeah. And Bill was the mechanic?
He, as far as I know, he did all of it. I didn't have to work on it except to help him at the racetrack.
That had to be a pretty exciting time for a young driver to be able to get into.
What you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, because that's, as you well know through your career, the countless hours that you put into racing, and to be that early on to get into a good ride.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I wasn't much of a mechanic back then because I didn't know nothing about handling with my car.
Yeah.
And then when I got in that car, he already knew.
So what did he teach you? What was some of the first things that you learned? Because I know you're no doubt a very intelligent man, but a very observant person. And I know you were paying very close attention to what was going on. Tell me what you learned.
Well, that race car was different from most all race cars. He had laid the right front wheel in till it looked like it was about laying down.
Really? And
he would get them old 890 Cadillac tires, I think, and ambulance tires or something, and he would put them in a grinder and grind it to shape he wanted.
Okay, so
Just that right front now.
So he was putting the camber back in the tires, I guess.
I guess that's what it was.
Okay.
But I wasn't smart enough to know what he was doing at that time.
Okay.
But I knew it was working.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was working because I was doing real well.
Were you surprised at how well you ran when you got in that car? I mean, did it surprise you?
It excited me.
Excited. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like you said, you've been in your car, and like I said, just basically just racing, not winning.
That's right. Just starting.
Yeah.
Starting.
And then you get in this old Vigor Lube car, and this thing's working, and I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
And Alton's showing out.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah.